If I have to just summarize in three simple words, I'll say it is about having a integrated planning and execution of three L's: livelihood, living, life. If I have to just summarize in three simple words, I'll say it is about having a integrated planning and execution of three L's: livelihood, living, life. If you are the reason you are able to create a economic nerve center, whether you create near urban, whether you create in rural, or you create a new field, if you are able to create a livelihood, there's an incentive and a reason for anyone to come in. So first is the livelihood. When people will come work, they would need a good quality housing and other residential premises. That's where the living comes in. And in living, the important aspect is you need to have living applicable for all strata. So that is the second lever. And the third, I'm sure all of us have been discussing, pandemic notwithstanding. Uh, Ultimately, human being is a social and a cultural being. So you need elements of culture, life coming in to really feel alive. You want to visit something, the passion or hobby may be different, but fundamentally every one of us wants to go somewhere which gives a higher vibration. So therefore life. So first I will come to the three most important aspects, which is an integrated approach to the three L's. The second very important aspect, I think some of it was touched. And these are all which we have done. Maybe I'll come later into detail how it is done. The second important aspect, sustainable and inclusive development. When we say sustainable, it goes much beyond green. It actually goes about having a responsible development, that you have a long-term roadmap of how, not just how resources are being used now, but how resources will be used and consumed, and what is your planning, where you have a long-term roadmap, but you are nimble enough to adapt to the short-term circumstances. And inclusive, very important, because inclusive is not just being for all, but also taking the views of all. And you all talked about the smart cities. You know, the first few smart cities which were off the block, there was a publicly available scoring rating. The first three or the first 20 were the ones where the citizen stakeholder involvement was the max, and they scored very highly of it, because ultimately it is the citizens which define the city. So that's why I define it a much broader definition of inclusiveness. So inclusiveness of all the stakeholders, what is their expectation and how it will flow.